I felt the wind of the bullet swing by my head and shatter the front door. And
in this episode of God and Gangsters, we follow Vince Garcia, a young boy from immigrant parents whose criminal career begins with a borrowed handgun. This begins part one of a two-part story.
Pastor Vince Garcia, Set Free Church of Oceanside.
Vince, or
I grew up in the Inland Empire. My mom was a stay-home mom, and my dad was a workaholic and an alcoholic. You know, well, we actually had no money. You know, so since my dad was gone all the time, I kind of just roamed the streets a lot. You know, I was 13 years old, 12, 13. These guys were picking on some friends of mine, and we ended up stealing a pistol from one of my friends. His mom had a pistol in her closet, and I said, "Let's take it to scare the guys," you know. And that's what our intentions were. And I ended up shooting the kid and a couple of kids, and we ended up getting arrested. And of course, they told on me, you know. And I ended up doing 6 months in juvenile hall. My parents pretty much spent every little cent that they had in keeping me out of youth authority, because that's what they were going to send me to. Gangbanging, you know, comes with the territory. I started going to jail, you know, county jail, all for assault, you know, and I became like a regular in the county jail since the time of 18, you know, always in and out, and go do 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, and then get out and go. Sometimes I get out in the morning, and I'd be back in the afternoon back at the county jail, you know. And the guys would be like, "Hey, you're back." The first time I went to prison, I got 5 years and some weapons and assault. So I ended up getting 5 years in prison. Got out, and I was only out 3 months. I went right back, you know. Earned a shoot term. I was doing my time in the shoot program, and it wasn't fun no more. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in your cell all day long, 23 hours a day. You go out to a little yard, you know, and it just, I was like, man, prison ain't really fun. The first time when I went in, I did 18 months, and I got out, and I was out on the streets for 3 months, and I went back and did another 26 months in the shoe before I ended up paroling again. There was a time there when I was in the shoe for like 6 months that I was by myself, and I was kind of losing it, you know, flooding my cell and acting crazy, you know, doing crazy stuff, you know, or making officers fight with me and stuff, you know, and I ended up, some older guy ended up coming to my cell. He said, "Hey, you ain't gonna be playing this," you know what I'm saying? He's like, "You need to knock that stuff off, you know, and get your mind on something else, you know." So, and he would, you know, he kind of told me, you know, he said, "Man, you know, if you don't do something with yourself, this is gonna be your life right here." He goes, you wanna be what gangsters are? He goes, "This is what all the gangsters are, doing life just like this." He goes, you're young, man, you know, and I don't know, I guess it kind of stuck with me, you know what I'm saying? You know, he was an older guy, you know, been there for years, you know, so I was like, man, maybe I need to find something different, but I didn't know what that different was, you know. I considered myself a Sureño at the time, you know, gang member, you know, and so whatever they asked me to do, I was young, you know, so I was raising my hand. But I just thought that that Jesus and God and everything was like kind of like Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, you know what I'm saying? It was just something somebody needed to believe in to make it, you know what I'm saying? 1995, I was man, I had been out. I had been out for quite a while, you know what I'm saying? I was up scouting. I was scouting for my parole officer, and I was really bad on methamphetamine and anything I could get my hands on, cocaine, and I hooked up with a friend of mine. We started robbing convenience stores. That was his hustle, and I was on the streets in, you know, in bad shape. I was living in a wash, you know, and had a little clubhouse there in the wash, and I had hit rock bottom. I had tried to come up and sell, but I couldn't. You can't sell when you're an addict, you know. I'd become an addict of my own thing, you know, and it got so bad that you know, my own homeboys, you know, they didn't want me around. You know, that's how bad I was, you know. They just couldn't. I was unpredictable because of the drugs. You know, I heard voices, seen stuff that weren't there, you know. But we were robbing convenience stores, and we ended up robbing the store, and I was laughing. I remember I was laughing, and the guy put the money in a bag and stuff, and he was real cooperative, you know. But as I was heading out the door, he shot at me, you know. He shot at me, and I felt the wind of the bullet just swing by my head and shatter the front door. And I remember my friend, my homeboy, he shot into the store, and we hopped in the car and we took off, and I was like, dude, I'm done, man. And he's like, what? He goes, that scared you? I go, hey, I saw my whole life flash before me, man. He goes, nah, it's the dope, man. Don't trip, man. It's all good, man. I said, nah, man. I gotta do something different, man. And he's you tripping, man. You know, you just tripping. He goes, you just need some sleep, you know. And I ended up going to a hotel room, you know, and I told him to split. I go, get rid of the car, man. That's it. The show's over, you know. And I remember being in that room, and I was switching the TV, you know, you know, and there's one motel rooms that still had the turntile TV, and there was a lady on TV crying, saying, Jesus loves you. And of course she could talk about Jesus. Look at all the jewelry, and look at those gold banisters in the background, you know. I thought that was her house, you know. I didn't think it was a studio. And when this happened, it was actually June 24th, 1995, and I said, man, if you're real, you'll let me get some sleep and help me, you know. And I slept that night, and in the morning I woke up and I flushed all the drugs I had down the toilet, and I went across the street. There was a 7-Eleven, and I started going through my wallet, and I said, maybe I need a beer, you know, calm down. And there was a card there, and it said Set Free Church. And I said, man, where did I get this? And I remembered that when I had got out, I went to my connection, and he said, hey, there's this guy that owes me a lot of money, and he went to this church called Set Free. He goes, and he's hiding there, you know. What do you mean he's hiding there? He goes, yeah, I guess they take people in or something, man. He goes, but he goes, if you go there and you get my money, you can have half of it. I said, oh, all right. So I went looking for him, and of course nobody knew who he was or anything. But this girl told me, hey, Jesus loves you, and gave me this card. She goes, maybe you're not ready today to accept Jesus. She goes, but when you're ready, give us a call.